Welcome or welcome back to Both Sides of the Barricade. I am so excited for this week's guest. We have Maggie Lindemann joining us. She is an amazing singer-songwriter and she released her debut EP Paranoia in January of this year. I've been a fan for so long. I'm so excited to have you here. Maggie, is there anything you'd like to say before we get started?
Just thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Of course. I'm so excited. Like I saw you actually open for Sabrina Carpenter back in 2019 and I was like blown away. You are so amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm obviously a fan. We've never met in person, but if you'd like to describe your relationship with your fans that you have met and just, a little bit about your fan base and how you relate to them.
Yeah, I feel like we have a really cool bond. It feels like almost like a friendship. Like I know so many people say like, "Oh, they're not my fans, they're my friends," but like genuinely, I feel like we have this really cool friendship and like it's cool also because it feels like honest and I feel like a lot of the time, it can be like a lot of, "Oh, I love everything you do and everything," but I feel like with us it's like really honest and like they tell me when like I need to do better or like when I'm doing good and stuff and I really appreciate that because I like really appreciate like honesty and people like giving it to me how it is. And I don't know, I just feel like we have this really cool connection and bond.
Yeah, I love seeing your comments because everyone's so like supportive and sweet, especially on your covers. I think I found you originally because of your covers and it's just so like amazing to see your growth now as your own artist and making such amazing music. I really feel like you've like stepped into your own and know what you're doing now, which is just really cool to
Yeah.
watch.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. So I'd love to know a little bit about your relationship with music when you were growing up, kind of what you grew up listening to, and then what you started gravitating towards when you were developing your own taste.
Well, okay, so I grew up in like a very rock family. Like my mom likes rock, my dad, my brother. When we were really little, we listened to like Disturbed and like Metallica. And then when I started getting older, my mom introduced me to No Doubt and Gwen
Yeah.
and Lady Gaga. My mom introduced me to also. And I listened to a lot of that, like Britney Spears. I loved Britney Spears. And then when I started like developing my own taste, I listened to a lot of Sleeping with Sirens and Avril Lavigne and Evanescence, Lana Del Rey. Oh, there's so many.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paramore.
Yeah, I feel like you and I have like a weirdly similar taste in music. I mean, when you said that your mom introduced you to Lady Gaga, like I always say my dad introduced me to Lady Gaga, which is so
Oh,
funny
no
to me.
way.
Yeah, like he introduced me to like Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Paramore, like all those like artists, which is just so funny to me now. But when I like look at your Instagram too, like I feel like we follow so many of the same artists. And I always love the artists that you cover too, like your Lil Peep covers and Lana, like they're just amazing. So
Oh,
I was so
thank
excited to see what you listened to growing up because I was like, she must have like similar like upbringing to me in terms of like what she
you.
listened to because we definitely have similar taste. What was the first concert that you went to?
This is funny. Actually, I grew up in Dallas and we had these like really, really big state fairs and the Jonas Brothers came and performed.
Amazing.
So that was like my first concert. But then I think my first like real concert like that I went to was either Miley Cyrus or it was Britney Spears or Lady Gaga. I don't know. I saw them all at the same time. So it's like hard to remember, but Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, and Miley Cyrus, I like saw all in the same like
Oh, all amazing. Like
yeah. And I was like, literally, it's so funny because, like, when I talk to my friends about it, they're like, oh, yeah, my mom didn't let me listen to like Lady Gaga growing up. And it's so
really
funny because, yeah, and it's so funny because my mom literally took me to see her when she was wearing like the meat dress and like the bubbles and all that stuff. And I was like,
amazing.
what, like 10?
No, when I was too young, like I didn't like concerts, which is so weird now because I went to like 60 shows in 2019 and then so 2020 was just miserable for me. But I still haven't seen Gaga and I don't know how that is because she is just like the best performer ever and I want to see her so bad. Was that like the Monster Ball that you saw?
Yes. And it was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, she's an insane performer and like her vocals were insane. And I
Yeah.
remember watching that and being like, whoa, like this is it.
So then what got you into making music? Who's your musical influence for that? And, obviously you started doing covers. How did that come about?
So I've always done covers. I've been doing covers since like 2012. That's so long ago. But I don't know. I just always liked to sing, and I was like a really big fan of Justin Bieber growing up. And I remember like obviously that's how he was found was like doing covers on YouTube. And I knew a lot of people online that did covers. I grew up like Austin Mahone was like really big in Texas, and he was like on YouTube and we had like Somo, who was really big, and he was on YouTube. And there was just so many people that were doing covers and stuff that were just like online. I never went the YouTube route, but I did do covers on like Keek and Instagram. I don't know, I just like to sing, and I was like so shy in real life. I never sang like to my friends or anything. So I would just do that. And then to get into music, my influences were like Banks, Lana, Katy Perry, Sleeping with Sirens, Paramore, Melanie Martinez. Those were like my big influences starting out.
I didn't know you were a Banks fan. Like every time I meet someone who likes Banks, I'm like, oh my God, like, so you know.
She's insanely underrated, and I've seen her live twice, and
Her live shows,
incredible.
otherworldly. I watched like her Lollapalooza set that's on YouTube like over
Yeah,
and over because I'm just like, I don't know how she is that good. I
I
feel like
know.
she's an alien. Like
I
she,
know, literally. And her lyrics are insane. She's an
yeah,
amazing writer.
yeah, her interviews, like I watched one and she was talking about how, I mean, I feel like I've heard a couple artists say this, but she like dreams lyrics and then like will write them. Like I'm like, how
So
does that even
great.
happen? I love that you love Banks because I feel like not enough people like know how great she
I
is.
know, it's crazy. She's so underrated.
So where would you describe where you are now in your career? Because you've been signed for a while, but I feel like right now is like you're making the music that you're meant to be making.
For sure. Like it's weird because it does feel like I've been, or I guess I have been doing this for a while, but I was making a completely different type of music. So it almost feels like I'm starting out again. Like it feels like I am a small artist. I mean, I am a small artist, but it feels like I'm like starting out again, like just brand new. And like I'm figuring everything out again. And I don't know, it feels like the beginning of my career right now, which is weird because it's not. And I know I've like had a big song and I've done all this stuff, but like I don't know, I almost feel like a separate person at this point from who I was.
I loved Obsessed. Like when you put that song out in 2017, I was like, oh my God, like this song is amazing. But now I'm like, this EP is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, she should have been doing this the whole time.
Thank you. I love Obsessed. And it's like a cute song to listen to, but it's so weird to think that I put it out because
Yeah.
that's not me at all. But I have been wanting to make this type of music for a really long time. Not exactly what I'm doing now. It took a while to like get to this point, but I've always wanted to do like alternative music.
So this podcast was born because I am like a stan of artists and I wanted to like interview artists and kind of get their perspective on like fan culture and everything. So would you consider yourself a stan like for certain artists?
Yes, for sure. I mean, I was like a huge like Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber, like oh my god, I'm insane. Like One Direction too. Oh my god, the biggest One Direction fan ever. Like I literally would go to their concerts dead ass, like thinking that they would like notice me and they would take me backstage. Like that, I was that person.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like I'm still like a huge Sleeping with Sirens stan. Huge. I love them so much. I always said that that would be like the one time that I would actually like really fangirl. Yeah, that's like crazy to me. But also Lana Del Rey. Like I will defend her to the end.
Same.
I love her so much. She like literally raised me. So
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. Like my Instagram, ever since I got Instagram, my at has been J Taylor LDR because like Lana Del Rey, and like I will never change it. Like I feel like it's just my brand. Are you excited for her new album?
yes. I love her. Like anything she does, I will just support. Even if it's like, oh, I don't like the song as much, I'll be like, no, brain, you love
Yeah,
it.
I'm like,
You love
I'm
it.
sorry.
I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
no,
Have
you're
you
wrong.
have you seen her live?
Yes, I have a couple of times.
Yeah.
Insane.
Her shows are amazing. I saw her in 2019 for one of her tours and I got like a VIP ticket and I got that selfie. Like like how you like you're in the front row and
Oh
you
my
like
god.
I like almost died because remember, no joke, when I was in high school, I would cry because I'm like, I will never meet Lana. Like I was, it
Yeah.
was so funny. And then I got the selfie and I was like, oh my God, like my life is complete. Like
Yeah,
I
I feel it. No, I feel you. I've been to a couple of her shows. Like I went when she went to Amoeba too, which was
Oh,
really cool. Like
yeah.
so insane, but there were so many people there. But I also saw her at Flognaw a couple years ago. And I literally, like me and my two friends, we waited like at the front for I don't know how long, like an hour and a half, 2 hours, so that we would be at the front because we
Yeah.
waited through two sets to keep pushing our way to the front. And we were like literally against the railing and it was insane. I love her.
Yeah. It's so funny, like just because she's not super high energy, yet people are insane. Like at her shows. The people will go crazy. And I mean, I was one of them, so I can't blame them. But yeah, it's
Yeah, I know.
crazy.
I'm like screaming these slow songs. I'm like, what is going on? I love her.
Yes, I can completely relate. So we're in quarantine still as of right now. How do you feel like quarantine has changed the course of your career?
It's been different. I mean, it's definitely been weird, but it's been cool because I was really able to like focus on the stuff I needed to focus on. But it sucks because obviously I can't like tour and I can't go out and do anything with it really. I mean, I'm doing my live show, which I'm really excited about, but it's not in person, it's just a completely different thing. So that really sucks. And I think that's like what I miss the most. But it's been cool because I feel like I've just been able to get a lot of work done like behind the scenes and like a lot of recording and writing, and I'm like already working on my album just because I have so much time.
For sure. I feel like most people are just like, I'm just working. Like, especially me, like, I'm a senior in college. Like, I've been just trying to do as much work as possible because once shows come back, like, sorry, you won't see me for a year. I will be traveling
Exactly.
around doing nothing
Yeah.
but going to shows. So I definitely get that.
Literally. I know. I was just talking to my friend about it, how when everything opens back up, I'm going to need like a 2-week break to just go crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wasn't even like a club person. Now I'm just like, I just want to go to a club. I want to hear WAP. Like, I just want to
Yeah,
hear.
no, I just want to be in a hot, sweaty, disgusting club.
Yeah.
Put my, like, I'm drinking something. I like might set it down for a second. And then I'm like, was that my drink? Yeah, it's fine. I'll drink
Oh
it.
my
I'm going to be a mess. I'm going to be
Yeah,
a mess.
I cannot wait. Is that like what you're looking forward to when things go back to normal, just kind of going crazy? And I mean, like in your career too, but like personal life, I mean.
Oh yeah, personal life, like I'm ready to go to shows, I'm ready to go to clubs, I'm ready to go to bars. The last bit of my friends just turned 21, like my best friends from home. So I'm just so excited because we can
Yeah,
finally like go out and do things and not worry about
I
anything.
know.
I'm just looking forward to it.
Me too. Okay, so how do you envision over the next year or so, like 2021, what does it have in store for you? And how do you envision your career as an artist evolving? Because you said you were working on your album now. Ooh, very exciting. So what do you have coming up?
Yeah, so I'm working on an album. I mean, I don't know when it'll be released. There's like no time. I'm kind
Yeah.
of just working on it because I have so much time, but working on an album. And then I have my live show coming up next month, which I'm really, really excited about too. Finally be able to perform the songs, which is really cool. But I also have merch coming out and I have stuff with SWIXXZ that we're working on. Like we just got off a call today. We have another drop coming out soon, and yeah, just doing all of that. And then hopefully when stuff goes back to normal, I'll be able to tour in real life, but who knows.
Did you see like the Life is Beautiful lineup just dropped? I don't know if any of those festivals in the fall are going to happen, but it's still
Oh,
exciting to see the lineups happen.
yeah.
I'm like, I'll go to Vegas for Life is Beautiful.
I know, I'm like, right. Because I was like, oh yeah, 2020, like I'm about to go crazy this year, like it's a new decade, like all this stuff. And then
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
just looking forward to making up for lost time when things come
yeah,
back because I will
I
definitely,
agree.
I'll be at any show, any festival in the US if it has like 5 artists that I want to see on it. I
I
don't even
know.
care.
I'm gonna be flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any like short-term or long-term goals in terms of like collaborations or personal goals or awards? This is just kind of like dream collabs and stuff.
Yeah, dream collab, sleeping with sirens for sure. Bring Me the Horizon. I would love to collab with 100 Gags. I feel like that would be so sick. Yeah, I would love to. Those are like my top ones for sure. But like my goals I have for myself is I just want to like keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully obviously like I'll be able to do more and more and more, but I don't know, I just want to stay on this same track that I'm on and like also keep myself in like a good mental space.
Yeah.
The goal is like, performing in arenas and all this stuff, but it's like I just hope that throughout all of this, like I have a good mental headspace.
Yeah.
And I like remain happy.
That's a great answer. I love that.
Thanks.
First of all, I could totally see all those collabs happening and they would be amazing. So I really hope they all happen
I
because
hope
I
so
want
too.
that. So now I have a couple like interview type questions for you. To start out, I have some friends over at the Fangirl Fever podcast. They are obsessed with you. And I had had to ask them if they had any questions for you. So from Amy, she asked, what is something you learned from putting together this EP that you will carry on as you create and finalize your album?
I think the one thing is just to stop underestimating myself. Throughout this whole thing, I learned to just be confident in what I was doing and just to believe in myself, because before I just always was underestimating my abilities and always just like chickening out of stuff. Like I would be like, oh, I want to write this, but then I would be like, no, that sounds stupid. So I just like wouldn't. So I've definitely just like gained confidence in myself and like my abilities and just let myself work freely and not like with all these restrictions.
And then Zoe from Fangirl Fever asked, what are you most looking forward to regarding the virtual show and live shows when they come back?
I'm looking forward to just performing in general. I really miss performing and also performing like this EP. I'm just really excited to perform like rock songs because I that's like always been my favorite. Just to like see people again. I'm really looking forward to touring and being able to like see people actually in person.
Yeah, I imagine the energy at your shows is about to be like next level when they come back. We're starting a mosh pit. That's all I know.
I know, I want people to mosh. That's my goal. No, you asked me what my goal was. My short-term goal is literally to have people mosh at my shows.
Oh, it'll happen. I'm sorry. Gaslight will come on. It's over. Like,
I hope so. I really do.
okay, so now my question. So you've had a large following on social media for years. Do you think it has helped or hindered your ability to focus on music or be seen as an artist first and foremost?
Yes, for sure. I feel like a lot of people will like call me an influencer and stuff, which it drives me crazy because the only thing in my whole like I do in my life is music. Like everything is music. Every day I only talk about music and I go to sessions and I'm working on my projects and everything. So I feel like in a way it kind of downplays me, like hurts my feelings a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with being an influencer. I think like if that's what you want to do, like totally go for it. But I just feel like for me, that's like not what I do. But being on social media for so long, like I understand if like maybe you followed me before I made music, or maybe you followed me because you liked my face and you don't listen to my music. Like I totally get that. But it is frustrating because I feel like I worked so hard in like my music and like my craft. And when people just like look at me for being pretty or whatever, I don't want that to overshadow like what I do. Like I want people to know me for my music and not for anything else.
I can totally understand that. On the other side, do you think that social media is like an important tool as an artist today?
No, definitely. I mean, it's just a way to connect with people. So I think it's like really important. I don't think you obviously need to be on social media because I know so many artists aren't, but I think it's like a really good way to connect with people. And for me, like I just love it because I can connect with people. And also, I don't know, I just feel like I always have some shit I want to post. Like I'm like, oh, this is sick. Like I want to post this. So I love social media, but I think it can be a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. I love your feed. I feel like you're so casual with it.
I feel like I used to be so much better at doing that. And now, I don't know, it's not even that I don't do that anymore. I just feel like I'm so much more busy than I was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So, like, I would post like a picture of like a cat or something and be like, oh, well, I want a hug or some shit like that. And it was just because I would be like bored, and I wouldn't have
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
to post. So I'd be like, hey. And now it's like I feel like I'm always just posting something. Like I always have something to post. So I don't know. But I like when people post casually too. I feel like it's really interesting to me.
So I love that your music has started to become more influenced by anti-pop, pop punk, alternative. Did you always want to make music like this, and what held you back originally? Which we kind of touched on, but
Yeah, I always wanted to make music like this. Like I said, when I first started, my inspos were like Lana, Melanie, Banks. So I always wanted to make more like alternative indie pop, I guess.
yeah.
And in my first songs that I put out, actually, they were alternative. Like they were like categorized as alts. So I was kind of doing it in the beginning, but then when I signed with a label, that's when like Pretty Girl happened and Obsessed happened. And I feel like when you see a young girl that has like this look that can be very like innocent and like poppy and like bubblegummy, obviously with the label, they look at that as like, okay, cool, like that's mainstream, like that's what will go. So that's just kind of what was happening for a while. And I was also really young and I didn't really know like what I wanted to do. So I kind of just like let it happen. But I think after time, I just didn't like it anymore and I just wasn't having fun with what I was doing. And I didn't feel like I really like resonated with the things I was doing. So I'm not in a labeled deal anymore. I'm with like a distribution now, which is cool because I can create whatever I want and they'll like obviously let me know if something sucks, but they'll just support me and they let me be creative and they let me do my thing and they just kind of back it. So it's cool. I don't know. I just feel like I'm very much like me now. Like this is actually coming from me and it's who I am. I wish I did it sooner, but I'm glad that it happened at all.
The music you're making now is like immaculate. Like you, I
Thank
like
you.
I'm really glad your image fits it so well. Like you're just, it's made for you. So I'm glad
Yeah.
that you are now doing it. What was it like working on Downfalls High? How did that come about? And what was it like working with friends, in person like that again?
It was fun. It was really, really fun. Just like filming in general, it was just a really fun time. Like I love all those people that were on set and Colson's so talented and Maud's so talented. And yeah, it was just really fun. And I've like never acted in anything before. So I definitely would like to act in more stuff, but I need more lessons for sure. But it was really fun. It was just a cool thing to be a part of. And I mean his album was #1 and I don't know, so for him to even like want me to be a part of that and like it feels like a little bit of history, it's cool.
For sure. Yeah, it looked like a really fun set.
It was so fun. Like usually you work on, these crazy hours. You go to set and you'll be there for like 12 hours and it's like, oh my God, like I'm
Yeah.
so tired. But it was just so fun. I just had so much fun every time we were shooting. And yeah, I just love all those people. So it was really fun.
What has been the most rewarding part about putting out Paranoia? How does this experience differ from your single releases? And what was the process of making it like?
It was different because, well, with the singles I put out before the EP singles, it was all kind of made for me. Being on a label, they kind of like set it up for you and like it's kind of like that. But with this, it's like me. It was all me. The day I wanted to put it out and the day I wanted to drop a teaser and like the teasers I dropped and everything that was coming out was literally me. Like most of it was filmed, just me and my boyfriend filmed most of the teasers. And the girl that does all my pictures, Sam, I found her like off of TikTok, like a random TikTok. And now she's like my photographer for everything. It's just like actually me putting together everything instead of someone else kind of just doing it for me and then telling me what's going to happen, which I really like because I feel like I just have more control over what's going on. Yeah, I think that's like the main difference is it's just been all from me.
Last question. I love your clothing brand, Swix. I wanted to know what made you want to start a clothing brand and how important is fashion to you in your image as an artist?
It's okay. Yeah, of course. I love fashion. Like when I was little, I would design dresses and stuff. They were terrible, but like, I had a little mannequin and I would get fabrics and stuff and I would try to make outfits. And I used to always tell my parents like I wanted to be a fashion designer when I got older. But I don't know, I just love fashion and I don't know, I just always wanted to like make my own clothes. I think that obviously like fashion does play a huge role in an artist, like not for every artist, but for me, I'm like so like I want everything to be on brand. I feel like with the pictures I take and like the clothes I wear and the music I make, like I want everything to like be very on brand. So fashion is definitely like a really important part in that. And then with Swix, like I wanted to do merch, but I didn't want it to be like my face. I wanted it to be something that everyone could wear. And it wasn't just for people that are a fan of me. It's unisex, but it originally started as like a women's clothing line. And in Zoomies, it still is in like the women's section, which I think is really cool because in that specific like type of style of clothes is usually men's, which was just something that I felt really strongly about was kind of letting people know that it is a women's clothing line that is unisex, but it's not in the men's section.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Everyone go buy Swix. So, okay, I have a quick little song association game where I basically just ask, for example, name a song from your favorite movie soundtrack, and you just have to answer with like a song. You don't have to sing or anything.
Writings on the Wall, Sam Smith. It's from that James Bond movie.
Yes. Yeah. Whenever I hear movie soundtrack, I automatically think Twilight. So I just like pick a Twilight soundtrack.
Oh my God. So good. But for some reason, like the James Bond soundtracks are so good. Like the Billie Eilish one that she just did.
Yeah.
Insane. I don't know. I just love James Bond soundtracks.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
even like love the movies that much. I don't watch them. I mean, James Bond amazing. Like love you.
You're like, I'm so sorry, James.
Like, I'm so sorry, James. But I do like the movies, but like not like Twilight, of course.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Twilight cult classics right there.
Yeah.
But no, I love the Adele song Skyfall for the
Oh my God, another one. See?
so good. Yeah.
Amazing.
So I totally agree. Name a cover that you think is better than the original.
Oh, okay. Iris, the Sleeping with Sirens cover.
Phoebe Bridgers and Maggie Rogers did a cover of Iris too. So good.
Really? Oh, I haven't even heard it.
Yeah, they put it on Bandcamp for like a day, but I guarantee it's on like YouTube or
Oh
something.
yeah, probably.
Name a song that makes you feel empowered.
Gaslight by Maggie Lindemann.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the song I thought of when I wrote the question. So,
Really?
yeah.
I love that.
What is your favorite song to cry to and your favorite song to dance to?
My favorite song to cry to. I have a whole playlist for this.
Oh, same. It's like 11 hours of crying music. I'm like, yeah.
Actually, mine's 8 hours. That's so funny.
Say you're a water sign without saying you're a water sign. I mean,
Yeah, literally, right? Probably Cry to Roslyn.
Yeah, that's on my playlist too. It's so good.
Roslyn, or like I like Funeral by Phoebe Bridgers.
Oh my god, we probably have the same crying playlist. Like it's just the same song.
Same thing.
And then your favorite song to dance to?
What You Know, Two Door Cinema Club.
Another classic. And then last question, what is one of your all-time favorite songs?
I have a couple, but Everybody Wants to Rule the World is like my favorite song, like ever.
Tears for Fears?
I'll just say that. Yeah. It's like my favorite song ever.
I was just listening to that, like right before we got on. Yeah, I love that song. I love Tears for Fears. So I was just, when I watched Donnie Darko, I was like, oh my god, this soundtrack is like amazing. And because it's Tears for Fears, like it's pretty much just all that.
I know, literally. That song, anytime it comes on, when you hear that, the intro, I'm like,
yeah. You're like, oh, this is my song.
I know, every time I'm like, yes, I like get into it.
That's so funny. I love that one. Such great answers. So now I like to do a little current favorite section where if you have a current favorite song or artist or album that you've been listening to a ton, feel free to plug it here.
Who have I been listening to a lot? Oh, I've been listening to like Deco a lot. He's like really, really cool. Princess Brie. I love Princess Brie so much. Yeah. Her album is really, really cool. Oh, I Dress too. I've been listening to I Dress a lot. Yeah. Those are like my three, I think.
Yeah. I saw you followed Poor Stacy and I wanted to like recommend this artist Kid Brunswick to you because I feel like you would like him. He has a song called Prescription Kid and I really like that song, and another one called Skinny.
Cool, yeah. I found him. I'll listen.
Yeah, he just has a cool style that I feel like fits a lot of the artists that you like too. I don't know if you know an artist, Ren for short. She has a new song called Virtual Reality that I really like.
Oh yeah, I was actually, me and my friend were just talking about her.
She's sick. She kind of like, you guys look a little bit similar now that I think about it. Yeah, I feel like you guys have like similar features. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Everyone listening, go stream the Paranoia EP and the rest of Maggie's discography. It's amazing. Go buy tickets to her virtual show. It's coming up. You're Maggie Lindemann on everything, correct? That's where we can find you on social media. Your TikTok is amazing. Just wanted to let you know. And with all of that being said, this has been an episode of Both Sides of the Barricade. You can follow us on Instagram at Both Sides of the Barricade, on Twitter at BSOTBpod, the acronym and then pod. My Instagram and Twitter are JTaylorLDR. Lana Del Rey, love you, girl. This episode is available on Spotify and iTunes. You can watch it on YouTube. Please follow, subscribe, like, download, rate, comment, all of that. Thank you, Maggie, so much for being here. That clap was very loud. I'm so sorry.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. And everyone, thank you for listening. We'll see you next week with another episode. Bye.